What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Shibui Anime Tavern, brought to you in part by Nova Circuit. We are here today with, this is not how you start this out normally. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm Jeff, and with me as always.
Me, Jason. Oh God, I'm even fucking up on my end. Yeah.
Me, Jason. Yeah, that's all right. We're gonna roll
fine.
with that.
You know, listen, we're not perfect, so. But you know who is perfect?
Not at all. Motherfucking
Yeah,
Jinwoo,
baby. So we finally got it, Jeff. We finally got an episode where Jinwoo. I mean, we always get episodes where Jinwoo is badass, but we get an episode where Jinwoo fights someone. Yeah, extra badass because he finally gets to touch someone above his rank and go toe to toe with him. Now he's done that before with the brother guy that he killed before in that little group, but he finally gets to meet someone like relevant in a relevant guild. It starts off the episode. They're in the dungeon, or not the portal. With these criminals, you start the scene with the criminals just slaying goblins, and like, holy shit, this is a ton of goblins.
Yeah, and they're doing it very viciously. Yeah. By the way, they're like fucking ripping them apart.
And they I think they even mentioned that like it's still not the same as killing a human. So
yeah, they do, and it's kind of like messed up.
But so basically, it's a bunch of goblin slaying, and they find themselves at a path where I think there was 3 separate directions, right?
Yeah, 3.
So they had to split up, and so obviously the criminals and
Jinwoo's got that perception.
Yeah, he
too,
does,
and he knows where the boss is. He's like, that's the way we're going.
So Jinwoo goes one direction. 2 of the other party members go towards the middle, and Kang takes the criminals on the last path. And then we find out why Kang's really there. It's not there just to lead these criminals, shorten their sentence. He actually made a deal with the victims of these criminals that he took on the specific job.
Yeah, their father.
Their father wants him to... wants Kang to kill these guys, just basically make him redeem himself. He's like, dude, I'll give you $3 billion, just do it for me. And you find out like Kang's kind of like into this, like he's done it before.
He's into killing people. Like, he likes fucking killing people and fighting them and stuff.
Yep. And just like that group before that Jinwoo was in, he manipulates the story and tells people, hey, this is what happened. And that's how he's been getting away with it. And obviously, someone
he's a
being
bad
part
dude.
of that. Yeah, he's part of the Hunters Guild or whatever. So he, so that they're not gonna think he's lying. They're like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, you're right. So he ends up actually killing these criminals, but he gets caught doing it by the 2 companions. Yeah, the 2 other companions, not Jinwoo, the girl, or the old guy,
Mr. Kim, and I can't remember the other dude's name.
Right.
But they take the one path and it circles back around to the one that the prisoners and Kang took.
Right.
And he sees them. The 2 are dead on the floor, and he's got the knife up to the other one. And he's like, oh, well, shit, now I got to take care of you guys, too. And he just, like, cuts the dude's head off. And and then you see him. Well, you don't see it, but
you don't see it.
Kills. Yeah, he kills the guy that's not Mr. Kim.
Yeah.
And then... Jinwoo and them, they hear like yelling and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they rush down that path, and they see Mr. Kim all messed up, just laying there, and they see everybody else dead, and they're like, what the hell happened here?
Right. It's sad because Mr. Kim wanted to apologize to Jinwoo for sacrificing himself in that dungeon with the god.
It kind of sucked.
It's kind of like been bothering him. Because if it wasn't, he's like, I ran like a coward, but if Jinwoo saved me and brought me back to my daughter, blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
Right.
And so he finally gets to apologize, but he's dying, and Jinwoo's like, well, she, we got our healer here, she can heal you, and he's like, and she's trying, and he's like, it's not gonna be enough, just let me go. And he dies, and Jinwoo knows that Kang did it, and we finally get it, Jeff. We finally get Jinwoo fighting someone relevant from the Hunters Guild, B ranked, by the way, highly B ranked. So they duke it out, and even like Kang's like,
this guy's kind of scummy. So he immediately goes after her. He's like, hey, I'm taking out the healer first thing.
So him and Kang start duking. Like finally, Kang's like, you know what? I'll take care of you, no problem. Because Kang's like, it doesn't matter. You're E rank second, awakening. So what is it? Jinwoo fucks him up. Like the battle didn't seem that close to me. Like I think they tried to portray it as a close fight, but Jinwoo was just like, it almost seems like he was.
So before they fight, we get to see Mr. Kim fight with him.
Oh yeah, with his sword skills.
He's decent, man. Like he's putting up a fight. He's not bad, but he also only has one arm, and he's a rank lower than this guy. But his sword fighting skills are pretty legit.
And the healer buffed him. He's like, I need.
And the healer buffed him.
Yeah.
Yep. So he was holding up for a while until this dude just overwhelmed him, age and not having an arm and just being less skillful than him. He eventually, kind of overcomes him.
And Kang, praised him for it. He's like, actually, you not too bad. He's like, for an older guy. He's like, and your sword skills are very, very good. Yeah, and then that's when Jinwoo steps in because Kang was about to like finish him off. Kang got ready to stab him, and then Jinwoo's like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Now you fucked up. And so, that's when Jinwoo steps up to the blade. And the best part is they're duking it out for a little bit, and then the prompt comes up in front of Jinwoo and says, there's an enemy trying to kill you. You have to kill them.
Right.
And he looks at Kang.
He's like, oh, you done it now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm telling you, because, Jinwoo will... he'll still sympathize. Like he'll still be like this, but he's like, it's unfortunate this thing's telling me I need to kill you. And Kang is like, what's telling you to kill me? He's like, doesn't matter. You're screwed now. So, and then that's when Kang found out, and they all find out that actually Jinwoo murdered people. Murderous intent kicks in, and him and Kang, like I said, they duke it out, but I never felt like it was close. I feel like Jinwoo was kind of toying with him because most of the time Kang thought he had the advantage. Jinwoo was just still standing there with that you still fucked up posture. And
yeah,
it just felt like he was never worried because
I don't know. I felt like he was never worried, but I would say they were kind of equal footing until you see like he does that like bouncy boxer thing like on his feet that looks really cool.
Oh yeah.
And then after that he kind of just whoops on him until Kang does this weird move where he's like not detectable and like super fast and everything.
It's almost like an instant transmission type thing.
Yeah, kind of.
But it didn't fool Jinwoo. So and then the blade. So Jinwoo, remember his blade has status effects. So when he finally hits Kang notices it. He's like, oh shoot, like I'm getting poison drained and all that.
His eye turns red and his face gets like his veins are all bulging out and everything.
Right. So he realizes, he's like, oh, that weapon's got status effects on it. And Jinwoo ends up spanking Kang.
We don't get to see him fight the boss, which kind of sucks. I actually wanted to see Jinwoo fight the boss, but afterwards they're talking to Kang's partner that was visiting him in the hospital. Yeah. And he's like, well, what happened? How did he die? And who beat the boss? What happened? And Mr. Kim's like, oh, I took him out or whatever.
Yeah, because Jinwoo was worried. He's like, well, I got to call what his friend that hired him, Jung Ho, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to tell him that my cover's blown and I'm going to have to like back out of our deal. Yeah. But that's when Kim steps in and he was just like, nope, I killed him. It was me. He and explained basically what actually happened, but with him killing him. He's like, he's had murderous intent. Like he's murdered people before. He's been doing this for a while. He admitted it to us. And his partner was like, you know what, that makes sense. He's like, I can't believe though because he's like, I was a supervisor. I can't believe I let this like slip through my hands. Yeah. And didn't notice. But another banger. So, like, I mean, the episode before was kind of like, to us, like slow. There wasn't a lot of action, but we finally got it here, and it was nothing but action. And I'm very happy. I think this is a fan service episode, and this fan is very happy.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, But is that all? That's all in this episode, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to think if they left a cliffhanger. I'm trying to think if they did, because they usually do that.
Well, you know what the cliffhanger was? The cliffhanger was Juhee holding the shard up and being like, "Hey, you
That's
remember
right.
this?"
Yeah, the shard from the first dungeon, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, who knows?
I wouldn't say it's like a, like, oh shit, they're about to walk into the dungeon and it ends. No, it's more just like, a more casual ending.
Right. But yeah, no. Like I said, I enjoyed this episode. I'm pretty sure you did too. I was excited. I texted you and said you need to watch this.
Yeah. No, I loved it. It was great.
So moving on to episode 10. So we get like Lee Jo-hee and Sung Jinwoo in the park, and they're basically she's retiring. She's done doing dungeons. She was explaining how she couldn't, like, the reason she took lower ranked ones is because she was not like a coward, but it's just, it was,
sort of.
Yeah,
that's
it was just easier for her. But she does appreciate it that's how she met Sung Jinwoo. She's like, you always escaped and somehow you always survived. At first I found it annoying, but it's so she's retiring, and she gives him that mana shard or crystal thing, and it's like, here, and if I'm ever in town again or anything, let's go out to eat or something.
And then she runs home to mommy and daddy.
Yep. So so long to her. But then immediately after that, we get Sung Jinwoo and Woo Jin Chul. God, these names. They're talking, and you actually find out that Jinwoo, like Woo Jin Chul knows that Jinwoo killed Kang, and he's like, wow, it's crazy that like an E rank would even be able to kill Kang at B rank. So he's like, we tested you for reawakening, and it didn't show that you did. But then that's when he warns him. He's like, well, I just want to let you know, man, you might want to get out of town, because Hwang Dong-suk, his younger brother or older brother?
Motherfucking Dong-suk's brother's coming.
Yeah, he's like, dude, this guy's like relentless.
He's gonna suck your dong.
Yeah, right. But he's like, dude, he'll do whatever he can. So like, protect your family or get out of town and stuff.
Like he says, like, he just wants you to die because his brother died and you lived.
Yep.
So he wants to kill you,
even if you had nothing to do with his death.
Regardless if you did anything or not. Yep, you're gonna fucking die.
Right. So that was the beginning of the episode, just going through those two real quickly. But then the rest of the episode's pretty much the same. So you get
we see Jinwoo and D rank homie, don't remember his fucking name either.
Jinho.
Jinho.
Yep.
They're just raiding all these C rank dungeons with their picnic squad they got just chilling out there.
The young girl seems kind of cool. She's just like, listen, I'm not a fucking child. I'm a hunter. Yeah. I'm an E rank hunter.
It's funny because I can see her wearing cat ears for some reason.
Oh my god, right?
Like, I feel like she should have cat ears on.
Right.
So that's happening, and it catches the attention of the White Tiger Guild. Is that right?
Yes, the White Tiger Guild. Yes.
So it catches. I think it's a recruiter.
It is a recruiter.
Somebody.
Yep.
Okay. A recruiter and his subordinate, kind of catch wind of this, and they go to approach Jinwoo, and it doesn't go real well for them.
No.
Jinwoo's kind of super threatening here. He uses his one of his new skills, stealth,
right,
and kind of just threatens him and slices his cheek a little bit, and is like, "Hey, you better keep your fucking mouth shut."
Right. He gives them the big threats, and then he ends up cutting a deal with them. A money making deal, because he needs the day off, because he feels he had a new side quest, a little sub quest or whatever.
Yeah.
So he needed a day off. Well, Jinho now has to sell those C rank dungeon raids that he already purchased. So he's just like, well, so he basically was just like, hey, we could try to just sell him off, and Jinwoo's like, I got you. And it's crazy because he frickin' with like showing off his skills and all that stuff, he ends up like literally scamming this guy out of he's like 600 million in
on purpose too.
On purpose. Yeah. And then like the guy,
but he ends up kind of cool about it. He ends up like, hey, that was for spying on me, but here's my number, bro.
Yeah, and then he felt like that was a win. He's like, well, I now have Jinwoo's contact, so it's a win. Even though he lost out on the deal, he's like, dude, C rank raids are like 70 million a piece, and he's like, you just bought 3 for 600 million.
Right.
But he's like, it doesn't matter in the end. I think it's good for our business, for the White Tiger Guild, which is a highly like one of the top guilds out there. So Jinwoo's on their radar, and I think you can even see Jinwoo be like kind of worried that like he's like, how did you catch wind of like me?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what Jinwoo was doing, was like getting that information out of him by scaring him and cutting him and stuff, and got that info. And Jinwoo's like, I just need you to keep this on the down low, man, like, because he doesn't want people to know.
He was cool about it too. The other guy was cool too. But we did see, like I was saying, Jinwoo got a new skill. He actually got 3 new skills, and the other 2 are seem like attack type skills. Well, I guess all 3 of them are technically stealth. Could be or could not be.
And like the killing blow dagger or whatever it was.
Yeah. What he uses on that werewolf or whatever the hell it is. He
fucks
just
it up.
Fucking, yeah. And then so I don't know if you guys are familiar, but generally in like Final Fantasy, a job change usually means like you're changing your class. So right now he's kind of like assassin type thing. So it'd be interesting to see him go down like a more magic route, because he even talks about, I need to boost my intellect because I'm running out of mana too quick with these new spells.
Right.
So we could be seeing some new interesting things.
It's exciting. It was pretty cool that this new party or guild that they picked up, it was a bunch of drunks and lazy young kids, and they go in there and they're like, the first raid dungeon or whatever, they're like, only both of them went in. They're taking a little bit longer than normal. And they're like, well, it's crazy that a D rank and an E rank are going into like a C rank dungeon, and then dude comes, Jinho comes running out, and they're like, they ran away from the boss, and then the dungeon closes with Jinwoo walking out, and like, oh shit, they defeated the boss, and they all went with it too, because they're getting paid well, and
they're like, fuck it, whatever. So it looks like Jinho kind of like gathers the mana shards and stuff, while Jinwoo just marks everything in the dungeon.
Yep. And that's part of the business.
It's their system.
And then they have the contract with these other people with them that you guys can't speak of what goes on here, or you don't get your 300 million or whatever it is. And then they were like,
you have to pay like double
or triple back. Yeah, they're like, if you do mention you in the contract, it says you got to pay this back triple. So that's why they're going to keep it shut. But it was really cool because it showed them going on several, dungeon raids a day, and they're just chilling, playing cards, having lunch, picnics. I saw them set up a picnic, and I'm like, oh man, what a job!
Yeah, right.
I want to be 100.
They're like getting drunk and everything else.
Right.
I think the only other thing of consequence we see in this episode is the Hunter Association president guy has like a nightmare about what happened on that island.
Oh yeah, from the first ever episode, yeah.
Yep. And you see him holding this like file or whatever about it, and it's obviously foreshadowing to probably going back to this island.
I think that's his whole plan. I think he mentioned that a couple episodes before.
Is.
Yeah, it's just them to go back and
did talk about that.
Finish the mission or something like that.
And then our cliffhanger is just Jinwoo chilling, driving in the car, looking pimp as shit, and driving to his job change quest.
Right. Yep, off into like the mountains, and like I was like, ooh, nice.
Yep.
But other than that, great episode.
So, once again, great episode, real fun. We're here for it.
Yep. I can't wait for the next one. Like I said, Saturdays in a couple days. Hurry up.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, if you guys like solo leveling just as much as we do, and you think Jinwoo is badass like we do, you should hit that subscribe button and then leave a comment. You guys should comment so we can discuss. We want to
please comment.
The goal of this is to have discussions with you. So if you guys leave your comments, we can discuss them, talk about them, all that good stuff. We want you guys to join the conversation. So please subscribe, like the video, leave a comment so we can have the conversation with you guys, get you guys involved with this. So, but other than that, we'll see you guys for the next review. Yeah.
Peace.
Later.